So how do you get people recruited and onto your green team? Well, there's a number of engagement techniques. The most obvious one is to connect people with their values, their passion, their skills to the job, and how being on the green team can help them do that. Let members lead on projects or specific actions that they're passionate about. If someone's really passionate about a bike to work program, then they should lead that. They shouldn't be leading the energy reduction program. Have people engage on the things that they're passionate about. When you're engaging people on your green team and recruiting them, be clear about your time commitment and the expectation. The worst thing you can do is say, we expect 20 hours a month and they don't have it. And then when they're on the team, then you're mad at them for not doing it. Make sure you have real clear expectations, and 20 hours a month is a lot. So it's probably more like, we want you to donate an hour a week or 2 hours a month, just when you're getting going. As a green team leader, you have to provide resources when you're going to hit roadblocks and commitment sometimes gets lost. You're going to have to somewhat provide emotional support because people are going to be excited, they're going to want to do things, and it's not always going to go through. So you got to be able to provide resources when those roadblocks come up. And you need to also create opportunities to recognize and celebrate when you do make progress. A lot of people that serve on green teams, they're doing it because it's the right thing to do and they want to do it. They're not doing it for the accolades. It really can help an employee if they're recognized for work they're done. Maybe they're just recognized within the green team, but if they're recognized within the organization, just to get some kudos from their boss or the higher ups, that can be a really important way to help engage people. You want to assign accountability when when people sign up to the green team. Again, it's not just enough to just show up. You want to give people time and space to implement projects. So if you bring them onto a green team, but they're, slammed with a couple projects, but they're the right leader, well, then maybe that you space it out so you're not trying to bite off that project right off the bat. And lastly, be very clear that a green team can provide opportunities for career advancement. Say you're engaging an organization, it's front level employees in a manufacturing sense, somebody who's just doing their job, working on these widgets day after day after day. But when they get on a green team, they're talking to different people across the company at different levels. And this can provide a window of opportunity in other aspects within the organization. And people won't just say, oh, you're just a frontline employee who works on widgets. They can bring their whole self, their passions, their ideas, their thoughts, their ways to innovate and be creative to the green team, and that can help their career advancement. So these are all important things that you need to make sure that you lay out for people as they're trying to engage on the green team. It's also important to be realistic about some of the obstacles your green team will face. Right off the bat, there's a lack of time. People need time and resources to do their regular work. And when you ask them to work on a green team, it's additional time and effort they're going to have to do. So you got to realize that, and you have to acknowledge that and be realistic about what you're asking people to do. Budget is another big obstacle that you're going to run into. Again, in terms of setting management expectations, you got to make sure that people don't have a champagne taste, but only with Bud Light money. You can't say, well, we want to become the most sustainable organization, but here's no budget. We see that all the time with organizations. And with green teams, as they're getting going, I had a friend who was a national sales rep with an outdoor industry organization. And he was put in charge of the green team and was expected to do these amazing things, but was only given $10,000 over a 3-year period. And so here was an example where the boss wanted these amazing results, but wasn't putting budget forward. So you got to realize those obstacles are going to be in your way. Authority can be an issue. If you're within an organization that's got a control approach where it's a top-down or management has to support it, you need them to give their blessing, and not only to walk the talk, but they have to give authority to it. You got to realize that that's going to be an issue. So in a lot of ways, you might have to find ways that you can get authority behind you, and if you can't, you're going to have to work on those things that aren't going to be popping people's heads up and they're going to know that they need to do stuff. Or you may just need to take the mindset that the green team is going to ask for forgiveness instead of permission. Another obstacle you're going to face is employee motivation. You got to get the right people on the team. A lot of people will say, oh, I'm passionate and I want to be part of the team. But you want to be selective, not just inviting anyone to join the team. You want people who are, and I use the word team very importantly here, because that's exactly what you're creating with the green team. You're not creating a bunch of individuals who want to just do a bunch of environmental stuff. You want to create a green team that can advance a few ideas and actions across the organization. So you want to be selective about who you invite. I'll just give you a case study. We were working with a global architecture firm, and the leaders of the green team, these three individuals that were so passionate and doing such great work, that they had this larger team that they felt like they were reporting to, that somehow they went and recruited all these people, but they realized that most of the people that were coming were just motivated by the free lunch, and they just wanted to discuss whatever idea was on the table at the time or whatever thought. And a lot of people were actually getting in the way and telling them why they couldn't do stuff, as opposed to actually helping and getting on board. So the solution when you have that is selective recruiting. Personally acknowledge and invite those who care about the issues, but you want to invite a smaller, more dynamic team that you can really focus on getting things done. And that's an important lesson that you have to understand when you're setting up your green team for the first time.